Well, hey there. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Tom Clifford, and this is Engineering One. I'm so glad that your kids are taking the class. A lot of students sign up for engineering because they like to make things, and in distance learning, that's going to be a smidge hard to pull off. I'm really sorry that we're doing it in this format. I really do enjoy meeting parents. I really enjoy meeting my students face to face. Seeing little postage stamp sized pictures of your students' heads are it's not exactly the best of circumstances. But I think this is a great class. I really like the direction that our engineering program is taking now, and I think it's going to be a good year. I'm really excited about where we're headed. So I want to introduce myself, obviously, and talk a little bit about the class. First off, here's a little short history of the class itself. Previously, Engineering 1 and Engineering 2 were not actually sequential. Students could take one before the other and vice versa. And we're trying to change that a little bit. We use some curriculum from a national organization and company, I guess, called Project Lead the Way. They not only do engineering, but they also have computer science and digital graphics and CAD and a whole bunch of different types of courses from middle school all the way up to high schools. The nice thing about using that curriculum is that that is already A to G approved. So this is an A to G course, which makes it really great. The downside, I think, is that because it is kind of this national thing, it's not suited for it's suited for all different types of schools, large, small, urban, rural, and so sometimes the assignments themselves can be a little bit on the cookie cutter style, and our my job is really to make that kind of come to life, where students are actually making things. Certainly, this year is a little bit tough, given the fact that students we're doing this in a remote way. Fortunately, the school, a little shout out to Mr. Tawana, has been really, really great at trying to figure out ways to make this a productive and successful experience for students. So we will be issuing them some Arduino kits, and my hope and intent is to cover some of the basic concepts of design, computer aided design, CAD, and then to get into an electronic unit, both in terms of teaching them general concepts of electricity and amps and volts and all that kind of stuff, plus being able to put that into play using an Arduino kit where kids will be working with a little bit of code. This isn't a programming course, but being able to manipulate a processor to output current in a certain way, so we can turn a motor on, turn it off, have blinky LEDs, make sounds, and that kind of stuff. So I'm excited for that. I think that the first semester is looking really, really good. Um, Unfortunately, the kits are not here yet, so we'll be getting to those kits in a little bit. My hope is that they'll arrive before the end of September. Um, and the main thrust of everything is gearing up for our robotics team and our robotics program. Excuse me. So my hope is to get kids to be thinking about things in those terms, to provide students with the skills and the tools, the concepts necessary to be a successful robotic engineer, as it were. So in Engineering 1, this is really an introduction to engineering. Concepts that we cover is mechanical, electrical. We try to provide students with a set of skills that is specific to our shop, which obviously we don't have access to at the current time, but at least to be able to know how to use certain tools, and to know what is safe, and how to use those tools safely is the general idea. We do an awful lot of things in groups, in a collaborative way, that is building both hard skills and soft skills, and that students will be able to design, manufacture, build, deploy, revise, redesign, and rebuild various machines and what have you. So here are some of the topics that we're covering. The middle group is something that I can't get to obviously yet. That's basically things in the shop, shop safety technique, and using the different tools that we have at our disposal. It would be great if students were able to understand simple machines, the lever, the inclined plane, the pulleys, so that they understand mechanical advantage when they come up with ideas on how to create different projects that are going to use those simple machines to make something pretty complex. Um, as I said, a significant portion of this first semester is going to be on electricity and understanding electrical circuits, understanding how all that can get moved together to create something that's going to be pretty powerful. We also spend a lot of time in the first semester, whether we're meeting face to face or in this case, in distance learning, on design, planning, drawing, using computer aided design CAD to create something that is going to be in a meaningful way. My hope is the Arduino kits, I think, are going to be great. That will pretty much take us to the first semester. If we're still in this situation come the second semester, we have other kits that we would like to roll out to students so that they can continue to build, continue to plan. Those kits are these Tetrix kits, which are really, really neat. There just are a lot of parts to them. And there's some things that it gets a little bit more clunky, but I think that's an option for some students to be able to utilize. The course itself, most of the stuff that we do is done in class. As I said, most of the projects are going to be done in teams where students are going to be working together on that. Your student probably is not going to have a lot of homework for this class. My intent is to provide students with the time and the resources to be successful during the class period, but that there won't be worksheets, there won't be heavy amounts of reading, for example, that students will have to do. Um, I like using blogs. I use them in all my classes. That's a way for students to display their knowledge. They can write about it in their own words and show me that they understand the concept that we're covering in class. And also, it's a way for us to have a two-way conversation that sometimes is a little bit hard in person or in a class, especially when we're meeting face to face. And then there are online conversations that are in-class discussions that we have, various reflections on projects and whatnot. So that's the course in a nutshell. If you have any questions and want to contact me, email is probably the best way. There's my school phone. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask. All right. Thanks for watching.